Hello, welcome to the weekly reading. I am pulling from the Human Spirit Oracle as an overall, and then we will jump into the cards. Thanks so much for joining. Like and subscribe. Little thumbs up. I wish I could do the edits where they, they have the little thumbs up in the video. Can't do that. Right, let's do this. Overall energy for the week, please. These are really cool cards. Very different. We have two. The Midas Touch and Home Body. Wowzers. The color yellow is pretty strong here. Gold yellow. And then we have Manifest Your Miracle with card number 44. Holy moly. And they all have the auras around their head. Goodness gracious. 5. And we have two master numbers here. 11, 11, and 44. Okay. I'm so excited right now. I'm really feeling that home. Something about coming up with ideas at home. Bursting out with creativity, change. Something is going to birth itself from home. And then the Midas Touch, this is, obviously we know what the Midas Touch is. It's your time. But this, it has to be because of the ears here, that it's reminding me of the elementals. And then the blooming right here with the flowers coming out. And then with the circle here again, it's an epiphany, or maybe even sharing wisdom, sharing the wealth. Maybe repeat that over the week. Share the wealth, because you have nothing but blessings. We have nothing but blessings here. And manifest your miracle. This has been a recurring message through the weeks, is that we are coming into some kind of revelation, very, very prominent shift. And I think, we're coming into our own powers. We're realizing it more and more and more. Innate powers, things that we were, as humans, were born with. So I'm anxious to see what we get into here. Let's do it. All right, so I went ahead and I pulled the cards to save time. I think that is best, but you can let me know if in the comments if you want me to shuffle on camera. So we did the initial overall cards. Now we have the 2 of water, the 9 of air, and this is speaking of, to me anyways, in this layout, this is speaking to me that it is coming into self-reliance, right? And coming out of any kind of fear. This is a release right here to me. Let's see if that'll focus. There we go. Also, I think that Venus is entering Pisces, which is a nice, loving, relaxed feeling for this week. So that this might play into that as well. You might feel very relaxed and chill and easy. We have transformation. And, the way she's holding her hand makes me think of blowing on a, what is it, a dandelion, and having the seeds disperse, change, real change affecting. going into effect, rather. And then the High Priestess coming into your knowing. I've loved this card. I love this card. It's a very similar feeling to this card right here. It almost, to me, represents, it looks like the same kind of being, that the same kind of elemental coming through. But there's a definite shift from the Two of Water, Nine of Air, the transformation into the High Priestess. And that came out right underneath Manifest Your Miracle. And, you know, you've got the Midas touch. So these two cards, manifesting your miracle, the High Priestess is, to me, right? We all have to keep our perspectives. We all have our own perspectives. But to me, the High Priestess is that inner knowing, the higher self coming through in the physical world. And the Page of Earth is your manifestations coming into reality, literally. I think that is, you know what? Let's get the book and I'll read it. Let's see what it says here. Let's see. It's funny. It's only, I wanted to bring it out because it is so indicative of what we pulled earlier. So here we go. Let's go. It's commitment to prosperity, first signs of tangible success, undeniable evidence that hard work pays off, dreams grounded in reality, and start of a new project. Everything starts with a plan, and I am beginning to see the results generate prosperity. I am a doer, and I get to make my own decisions. I have the ability to attract what I need. And then here you go with card number 11, falling right underneath the 11. This is divine timing and balance, right? And you can see that this halo right here, and I'm just going to call that the higher self, okay? I'm going to call that the higher self, is represented in 1, 2, 3, 4. You know how I like to come back around. I know the reading is over right when that happens, but it's in all 3 of the original cards that we pulled out. And then in this last card in the tarot, the Justice. Trusting that there is balance, whether you can see it or not. There is balance, and it's here for you. Maybe a shift in perspective is it's going to happen. Now, I pulled the La Firma Healing Oracle. These are entirely different cards for me. I'm still getting acquainted with them. And I wouldn't even begin to try and pronounce these things. But it's card number 12, you know, which is a 3. I love the number 3. The Trinity, the 3 minds. It says year, harvest. The year's gears turn, shattering summer's stolid stagnation. The astral rivers of dream realms pour once more. From Asgard to Midgard, all along the sleepy slopes of the Bifrost Bridge, autumn again emerges. Hydlamar sounds his pretty cornucopia horn of plenty, as our just rewards are reaped for everything honestly sown. All harvests are safe inside winter's sleepy stores. So last week, I think it was, we had the bunny with spring. And here we have an indication of fall. I should probably show you the card, huh? I bet you'd like to see that. Yeah. I do like this little river here. We're going through the seasons almost, like it's telling us that with each season, there's a new shift happening. You know, Dolores Cannon, I'm not sure if anybody listens to her or knows of her, but she was, I loved the way she said it, in that, you know, well, not everybody, but a lot of people expect this massive shift to happen, like a shift with the sun, or a shift with the poles, or just this shift happening, and it's going to be really fast, really quick. But I love her rendition, because in any of my dreams, any of my visions, I've never seen something so drastic. But she almost kind of confirmed it for me, and I can't tell you when, but I remember her words, and it was, I might be paraphrasing, but it was, the shift is happening daily. It's happening. We are shifting minute by minute, upgrading with the earth, transforming with the earth. And we have to go slowly. We have to do it that way. Otherwise, our bodies wouldn't be able to integrate and shift with. In anthroposophy, there's, you know, they talk about the ascending with the earth. And it's a very beautiful, beautiful thought for me. But what I'm getting here is that we are going through the seasons, and with each season, there is a new transformation, a new coming of age. And, you know, I harp on, is it harp? I don't know if that's a good word, but I definitely encourage people to journal. I know I take notes, and I go back, and I can reference things very easily that way. I think it's a good way to see how far we've come, even though we might not think that we have. You know, by the time fall gets here, you might have forgotten all that happened, all that transpired in spring. So I encourage you to go and look at that video for last week. I can't remember. I think it was spiritual growth. I think that was the video. But it talked of spring with the bunny, and here we have fall. So it might be a manifestation that you're breaking out of, you're coming into currently right now, subconsciously or consciously, might actually come into the physical world with this page in the fall. We have one more card to read, and I will, there we go. One more card to read. And this is the Blue Angel Oracle. I believe this is the second edition. The first edition is out of print. But it's hilarious because it is card number 15 and manifestation. And there's that yellow, and there's the path. And this, it feels like an ascension, right? But we have so many cards of manifestation here. So let's get that in focus and then read. So this is 15, manifestation. This card signifies a deep desire for wealth and abundance on all levels, including spiritual and material wealth. Doors previously closed now open, as do fresh opportunities. You are building solid foundations for future creation and expansion in all areas of your life. Stay focused on your goals. Oops. Stay focused. It's interesting that it's not focusing. I wonder if that means that it's not quite ready yet. Stay focused on your goals. Be mindful of all around you, and more importantly, be mindful of the guidance that arises from within. Let your inner wisdom and light be your guide. You are what your deep driving desire is. As your desire is, so is your will. As your will is, so is your deed. As your deed is, so is your destiny. That is from the Upanishad. Have a wonderful week. Thanks for tuning in.